boldest at the Sportsport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sportsport here on a Tuesday. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Brian. Happy to be back here in the saddle. Does feel, weird for me. Kind of feels like a Monday, but it's Tuesday. But that's fine, dude. Happy to be back for sure.
Yeah. Well rested, right?
Yeah,
What would you say, though, best thing you ate over the weekend?
Oh, that's so tough, dude. Because obviously Sunday dinner.
Like the dinner we had at your house.
Literally, like the pepperoni, the ribs, the meatballs.
Pepperoni with the bread or no?
With the
Did
bread,
you have like
dude.
A ton of it?
Ton of it, dude. Ridiculous. That was always good, but I mean, I guess maybe that was the best, I guess, dude. Even though like the barbecue obviously hit really good on Monday. Burgers, dogs, chicken patties, dude, corn on the cob, mac and cheese. I know you don't like mac and cheese, but
I'm sure it's good though.
no, yes, it was all very good, dude. But I guess I have to go with the Sunday dinner. I haven't had that in a while too. So I'll go with the Sunday dinner, dude.
Yeah, I mean, hard to beat a good Sunday dinner.
Yeah, you can't, dude. That was a nice surprise, honestly. I kind of thought like Sunday would be a barbecue, Monday I'd go out, honestly. But it wasn't. So it was great, dude.
So yesterday was pool all day?
Yesterday, pool all day. So yesterday was my mom's birthday. That's why I kind of figured my mother would want to go out.
Happy belated, Mary,
dude.
if you're watching.
So, it was obviously nice to be home. I was on the grill, so that was a lot of fun. Pool all day. Obviously, get up, breakfast outside on the deck, dude, and then you rest a little bit. Yeah. You go in the pool. Yeah. Great time, dude. The pool was at like 90 degrees, I think, which is actually kind of nice because most of the day, intermittent clouds, Brian.
Okay.
So it was kind of breezy.
But
then obviously in the pool, yeah, dude.
Shooting practice with the basketball? Or?
Yes, a little basketball set up. The net ripped though, so it was kind of annoying, but still, good time.
Repair set up or?
No repair, dude. Have to go out and get a net. That would be the problem.
But
there.
At least that's something.
Still...
I mean, that's like even something that I am capable.
Oh
of doing,
yes, dude.
Oh, and speaking of, your mother is here, so if she didn't hear me, happy belated. I'm sure. You had a great time with Anthony this weekend.
Yes, my mom had a great time.
The pool, the food, the camaraderie.
The birthday cake, dude.
And for the Materiello household, a couple Met W's, huh?
Yes, dude. Some big W's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you always love to see that. Watch some good hockey, too, this weekend. So there was a lot going on in the Material household, for sure.
Finally, you got to witness other people watching hockey besides you at the horseshoe, right?
Yes, dude. Very true. My parents were getting into it a little bit. They don't really. Yeah.
Listen, you need the Rangers. That's why.
Yes.
Hopefully this is the last year that it's botched. And, I mean, it's like, it's just the fact it's like, obviously it's been so long since they won, but it's like, you got to get to the Stanley Cup final.
People are earning for it. My dad, let's go Ranger chants from the couch this weekend.
Yeah, but I think Sullivan is ready. Sullivan's like, because this could go one or two ways for Sullivan. He could thrive and bring the Rangers back to the promised land, or if this goes really poor, I mean, not that I'm anticipating that, this could be it for him. So,
it could be a one and done.
But he could be here for 10 years.
Yeah, I know. It is. It could be one way or the other. And you would think maybe even if they have somewhat of a longer leash and he doesn't do well, you're thinking like 2 years out the door and then Rangers in the same spot. So, a lot riding on Sullivan, a lot of pressure for sure. But like you said, it seems like he's the man for the job.
Yeah, something sustainable.
Hopefully.
But we do have a bunch of comments if we want to get to those.
Yes. We at the very tippy top here, Michael Buckta popped open a beer during the Angels game last night. What beer do you think he popped open? If you had to guess.
Corona. But I had to say, I mean, it wasn't at Angels Stadium. It was at Petco Park. And it's like you can get these anywhere. But I was like, last year being in San Diego, because they had a lot of them at the stadium, I was really feeling the Pacifico. Kind of underrated.
Yes,
you don't hear people
dude.
talking about it too much.
No, not at
Pretty
all.
good.
Yeah, no, it was very good. I would think maybe Buckta had a blue moon though. Is he a blue moon guy?
He could have. Yeah.
Dude, could have. And then Brian Barnaby in here says Yarborough or Volpe deserve the cover photo way more than Lindor. Even Kev Dew and Colt Take Johnny would admit that, which is I don't think so.
I don't know. Let's get him on. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
In the boiler room. What's up? Keep talking about the Yankees, Brian. Come on.
Brian Barnaby with a good habit, Michael. And then Anthony Material in here says,
I don't know if Michael told you because he texted me and Mike side group text and was saying his parents gone for the weekend. He said he's popping over a beer. Jimmy working late. I mean, he
really,
had
dude.
a couple.
Yeah, I would think so, dude. Home alone. That's what it's all about. House to yourself. The open, dude. Anthony Material here says, great job with the walk-off guy on the thumbnail. Thank you, Anthony. Brian Barnaby says, Salicata would have been a sack fly with the bases loaded, which, I mean, come on.
One out? Was there one out or no?
Yeah.
Pretty easy spot. I mean, just hit a fly ball.
Yeah,
right?
and he did.
Sterling said it all these years. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
Ernie with the
Ernie.
Matthew Ryan here says, Tony, Yankees won, but Yankees is a team of New York. Mets almost lost to White Sox. He spelled Sox wrong. Matthew Ryan, go back to bed, dude. And then my mom says, I forgot my sweatshirt. That sucks. Definitely the Downtime hoodie, probably, I guess. And then my mom says, great every time, every minute. She says, I took her sauce. Maybe wrong container. I got some leftover sauce. Maybe I took the wrong one because we had separate containers.
Meaning like the bigger one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I don't think that was exactly a mistake, Mary.
I don't think so either. And then Matthew says, at Mary Material, happy birthday. My mom says, thank you, Matthew. Matthew says, nothing beats family, honestly. Absolutely right there, Matthew. And then Ernie says, playing without the net is tradition, says Ernie. I mean, yeah, man, it's tough, dude. Obviously, you can imagine the rowdiness, the pool basketball, the net rips.
But the way your pool is, too, especially without the net, I would think it's even more prone to the ball went all the way towards the front of the house.
Yeah,
every
dude.
time.
Every time, dude.
Yeah.
And then let's see. It looks like Michael Buckta in here says lager. A lager, I think.
What type of lager, Michael? Was it a Southern California brew, Michael?
Maybe it's because I'm staring at those SoCal views. And he says, shout out to Michael. I'm imagining Theophil. And then Buckta says they've been gone since Thursday.
Oh, so he's had 20 beers by now.
The extended open house, dude. Yeah,
there you go, Michael.
There we go. A couple kegs through the door.
Sure there's been a couple babes. I know he said they didn't want him to have anybody over, but what are the chances? I mean, we know Michael's a good lad, but I don't know. I feel like, he's got a couple of his honeys over.
Oh, I mean, he likes to party,
you
know?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And then Ernie, the happy B-Day to my mother as
well.
There
we go.
That's right. And then there you go. Michael Buckta, the girls.
Yep. The beaches, the babes, the beers, Michael.
My mom says I took all the sauce. No, see, you know what? I think because we made pizza on Monday as well. We grilled pizza, dude. It was so good. But I did use leftover sauce for that. So
yeah.
Whatever.
Where's the sauce?
Where's the sauce? What are you doing? Ernie back in here says, good morning to everyone. Love you all. The birds singing this morning feels different. LMAO, beautiful day. It did sound like he did well. FanDuel, right?
Yes.
The betting dude.
A couple racks, Airbnb 3-bedroom, paying for dinner in Wildwood. So.
There we go, dude. Love to see it. I'm sure too. Wildwood may be a little disappointing with the overcast, with the the colder weather.
He said it was good. Okay.
All right, that's good. I'm happy. Buckta says Disney 100% on the agenda in California. 100% the plan. I did hear He said yesterday that his parents are taking him.
That's what he said.
Right?
I mean, he said so many different things. It's hard to keep track. I believe that's what he said. For today, right? It'll be different tomorrow.
Yes.
Nance will be there, right?
Nance, dude. And then we're all caught up, right there, dude.
Okay.
Jim Nance.
So there's going to be a lot to get to. I didn't talk about this yesterday, so I was just curious. And, we'll, of course, get our, Memorial preview, another signature event tomorrow. Did you catch any of the Charles Schwab over the weekend?
Ben Griffin, dude.
Donning
yes.
the plaid jacket?
The plaid jacket, very nice. I did watch. Obviously, I had Scotty who tied fourth
with Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, oh, that's right, dude. I forgot about that. So yeah, it was definitely some good competitive golf, and I guess good for Ben Griffin. But I didn't catch a ton. I caught most of Sunday. Very little on Saturday, so it was good. I mean, it was a beautiful course. Definitely, the sights and sounds at the Charles Schwab, I think bode pretty well for watching it. But yeah, it was all right.
But do you think that in a tournament like this, where Ben Griffin wins, it's a problem that the storyline is that Ben Griffin won. It's Scotty shot 64 on Saturday after barely making the cut, and then ultimately finished tied for.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that's what's going to happen when, you're the top golfer in the world, I guess, and you do somewhat have a, comeback. And honestly, like what, to people, to the layman, like who's Ben Griffin? Like nobody,
Yeah.
Not necessarily a household name. But yeah, I guess to your point, the headlines, is this on PGA.com? Your PGA Tour, huh? Or you're just saying in general the story
I'm saying just in general. I just feel like for these non-signatures, somebody else wins. Ben Griffin, good guy. Got a team win in New Orleans earlier this year, so he's 29 from Chapel Hill. But it's just, you know what I mean? It almost just makes me feel like, if we had a full tour, is Ben Griffin even getting this? I guess we don't know, but you know what I mean. I just feel like it just when a non-big name wins, like it's barely talked about. But if Scotty wins,
I think you're right. Yeah, it'd be whoa, whoa.
Ferrari.
I think you're totally right here. But I mean, what are you gonna do to change that?
You can't. Yeah, it's just because at the end of the day, that's why all these changes happen. Because guys didn't want to golf all these weeks in a row. They want to golf less, so you have to have events like this, but then it gives other guys opportunities. Plus, he did outdo, Fleetwood and Scheffler.
Yeah.
Those guys were in competition. Jordan Spieth, who barely made the cut as well. Ricky Fowler had a good week of 64 on Friday. He finished, tied for 16th. Aske was tied for 22nd, 4 under. So, there were definitely, some good golfers in this field. And that's what I think – I said this, going into the week. It's it's not length here at Colonial. It's all about solid overall game, and it's not the longest course, but you have to be accurate. But it's interesting. But he wins $1.7 million, so not bad. For a non-signature event here.
That's great.
Jordan Spieth, barely made the cut, and then ends up tying for 36. So. Unfortunately for him, a disappointing follow-up to this cut at the PGA.
Yeah, dude. And I think was he? He wasn't your sleeper or anything, was it?
He was.
He was your sleeper. Okay. No, I do think even leading up to the tournament, not just you, but from what I was reading, Golf Digest, CBS Golf. A lot of guys seem to kind of have him as the sleeper in anticipation of being competitive.
Short game, obviously boding well here.
Exactly. So but from what you saw, what do you think it was? That's his problem.
Same thing that we've had for such a long time with him. Off the tee, it's always a scramble. He's never, in position A and then setting up his birdie.
Right.
He's in the woods off the tee and then makes a 20-footer to save par.
Not good.
And then I know you always get riled for this. It was a shame. He definitely was in the lead, or tied for the lead at least at one point. But Angel Cabrera outdueling Patrick Harrington at the Senior PGA over the weekend. They played a Congressional, which I believe has hosted some U.S. Opens over there in Maryland. But Angel Cabrera, just came back this year from jail. Won the last two majors on the PGA.
Really, dude? Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Pretty impressive stuff.
What was he in jail for? Taxes?
I think taxes, but then also there was a domestic thing as well.
Oh, yeah.
But former, Masters champ and I think U.S. Open champ as well. Yeah, so that's pretty impressive stuff. And tough for Harrington, right there at 7 under. But and then with this win, Cabrera, will be in play for next year's PGA at Aaron Monk. So congratulations to him, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty tough to do. I think forgot what they said he was swinging, but just some wasn't even a golf club in prison for 2 years and just come back and win a couple of bets. I know it's the senior tour, but it's these guys are playing for real.
Yeah, that is pretty wild, dude. And he won the U.S. Open in 2007, it says here,
yes,
dude.
And
so
the Masters was when?
2009.
And then it was in a playoff, I think, in 2013, and ultimately Adam Scott won that Masters. It looks like that.
Tied Adam Scott and Jason Day.
You know what's a shame too? I mean, this really might be the golden era. I mean, again, I guess who really cares, because I know no one else really talks about it, but the golden era of the Champions Tour, because now with all this increased purse and Rory saying he's not going to do I think because the guys will make the money, you don't get as much money on this tour. There's not going to be as many golfers, right? I mean, it's going to be maybe the lesser names.
That's right.
Than these big champions actually playing,
Yeah, so what, are you going to be dialed in now?
No, I'm just saying it is good.
No, it is.
You're not going to have a guy like Patrick. If Patrick Harrington, came up 15 years after he did, I mean, he's retired, right?
Yeah.
He's not playing.
Yeah, no, you're totally right, dude.
A guy that's won, I think, 3 majors. So it's interesting. So just wanted to give that a shout out. But Memorial, will be on Thursday. That's always a good one, at Jack's course there. And then can you believe there's just one more event? I want to pull up the schedule again, and then it's the U.S. Open at Oakmont.
That's freaking sick, dude.
So
this weekend is. I thought I had it up.
No, the Memorial.
Oh, it is a Memorial, yeah.
Right. Oh, and then the Canadian Open.
That's what it is.
So we're skipping the Memorial, but then we'll play at the Canadian Open.
Naturally.
A place that he's won before, and was it even actually last season he won? I know.
I thought a Canadian won.
No, but that was 2 years ago, Nick
ago?
Taylor.
Let's see here. Past results. 2024 was Bob McIntyre.
Okay, so Rory won the Canadian Open in actually 2022.
Okay, so it's been a couple of years. I
Yeah.
guess, since,
Yeah.
23. Nick Taylor here.
It was this
22.
one.
Rory.
And what that was his second. So
Back to back. He won.
but yeah, this is exciting. This is the best time of year for professional golf. So looking forward to these next couple of weeks, that's for sure. But this is also the best time of year for the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yep, what a play! Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So the it's funny. It seems like I'm saying weekend that was, but just because you weren't here yesterday, Tony. But last night was pretty good. For the Yankees as they continue this 9-game road trip. But before we get to that, I did see, there was a few more comments here, and I believe it was Michael Butka had the first one.
Let's see here. I believe so. He says, yes, I think this is to California. He says, yes, my parents are taking
There we
me,
go.
says, dude.
There we go. So we have confirmation.
Dude. 1,000%. 1,000,000% he's going. And we're talking about ideas for California on Sunday, he says. Of course, dude. I mean, listen, for a trip like that, going to Disneyland, you got to plan ahead. You got to make an itinerary, dude. Speaking of making itineraries and planning ahead, Jay Bird here says, catch me on the golf course today, brother.
See you in the stadium today, brother.
So obviously Jay Bird hyped to be on the course today, I guess. Let us know what course
Jay.
you're going to be on, dude. Have you been swinging the club? Have you been going to the range? I don't know. Ernie says, no, I loved it. The weather to me was perfect. Sunny but breezy and chilly. Awesome day. Obviously, Ernie seems to be a fan of the cooler weather, Brian.
I mean, listen, I think if the sun's in and out, then it makes it not too bad. That's all it is. The sun changes everything. And then when there's no sun that's windy, then it's freezing all of a sudden, then the sun's out and it's warm and you're sunburned.
It is pretty wild. It's sweating even.
Yeah.
And then speaking of sweating, Josh B says, yo, what up, fam? Let's freaking go Knicks. Absolutely.
Is it just me or are you thrown off with the new Josh B like logo and stuff. Every time I see it, it's like I'm just used to whatever his logo used to be. Picture.
What was the picture before? It was him.
I don't remember,
right?
but it's just different. Yeah.
No, I mean, it definitely is a bit more like noticeable this one.
Yes.
It's more eye catching because of the colors and the logos in here. But no, yeah, I mean, it is a little different, I guess.
Because in the chat too, that's where I see it a lot. So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
it makes
different
sense.
than it always
Yeah.
was. But nevertheless, good to have Josh B with us. I know he's riled for Game 4 tonight with the Knicks.
Oh,
which
yeah,
we'll,
you kidding me?
Get to in a little bit. And Jay is starting his day
Wow.
with a sauna, then driving range and tea time at 2:30. My local car, Shark River, and I know that's a one that Josh B has played. And I think
Yeah, I
we
did remember
looked
him
into it
saying
when
that.
when we played all together. It's so funny. I never know when Jay is serious, but just you never know. Honestly, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a great day for like a Tuesday. You know, I think Tuesday is his normal off day, maybe.
Oh, okay.
You know?
and you're probably thrown off because of yesterday.
yeah,
and this and that.
But still, sounds like a great day for Jay. A pampered day.
Yeah. And you know what else was a great day? Memorial Day for the New York Yankees yesterday in
Yes.
Anaheim, a 5-1 victory. Ryan Yarbrough picking up his second victory of the season, going 6 innings, only 2 hits, a home run he allowed to Nito in the first, struck out 7, and only walked 1 batter. So I mean that's that's pretty impressive stuff out of Yarbrough. 88 pitches, and you didn't know what his role was going to be when the Yankees signed him after the Blue Jays let him go at the end of spring training. Kind of seemed like a guy that was going to eat innings with the injuries, especially Clark starting on the injured list. But you didn't expect him to be an important part of the rotation, and that's what he's become. I think this was his 4th start. He's been money in all of them. And this is a guy that when he pitched for Tampa, I mean, used to give us trouble. So nice to see him kind of getting a renaissance here with Matt Blake. But obviously with that type of pitching performance, the Yankees offense, got to work, and was able to support him. Luckily, they waited though until the 4th inning. So like I mentioned, first inning, Nito gets him for the home run. And Nito, I think that was his 9th home run of the season. I think he missed a couple weeks to start the year, but kind of an underrated guy you don't hear about. But I know they were saying, Ron Washington was talking him up. That's what Nelson was saying on the broadcast. It was Jeff Nelson and Michael Kay last night. So, after the Yankees go down 1-2-3 in the first, Nito, walk-off home run. Not walk-off home run. I don't know why I said walk-off, but lead-off home run. That, the case of the Tuesdays, I think.
I guess.
It was the 6th pitch of an at-bat, got a change-up low. It kind of just sat there instead of out of the strike zone. So that gave the Angels a 1-0 lead. And then, second inning, Yankees go down 1-2-3. Yarbrough works, around a 2-out walk in the bottom of the second to get out of the inning. Third inning, Yankees go down 1-2-3 again. But Yarbrough sharp in the bottom of the third, strikeouts, and Nito Leonard second. Fourth inning, this is where the offense comes. So Ben Rice, leadoff single, and you think about, all the big innings, great offensive games the Yankees have had. Ben Rice has been at the forefront of a ton of them, and he leads off this inning with a single. Grisham singles to make it 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Judge reaches on an infield single, bases loaded, nobody out. Cody Bellinger works a bases loaded walk to tie the game at 1. Jason Diaz strikes out. And Anthony Volpe, all of a sudden, I was talking about this yesterday. He had a big weekend, some big hits, triple over the weekend. He gets a double here to clear the bases. So that gives the Yankees a 4-1 lead. So nice to see Volpe kind of coming to life. His OPS is climbing, over 7, almost approaching 8, which is really high for him. I think he's been in the mid-6s the first 2 seasons of his career. So that was all the offense of that inning. Yarbrough, another 1-2-3 in the 4th. 5th inning, Yankees get 2 on with 2 out, but Dominguez grounds out to end the rally. Bottom of the 5th, Yarbrough, 2 strikeouts again and works around a 1-out infield single. So mowing down this Angels offense. Yankees go down 1-2-3 in the 6th. Bottom 6, Yarbrough again. I mean, he was pitching so well, you could argue he deserved an opportunity at the 7th, but they left him after the 6th after another 1-2-3 inning. Yankees don't get anything going in the 7th. Bottom 7th, De Los Santos comes in, gets another 1-2-3 inning for the Yankees, and he's another guy. I mean, Yuri De Los Santos, no one's really talking about him. And he's pitched well, and they've pitched him in bigger spots before. I think a bases loaded situation within the last week or so. And he comes through here. And then you got the 8th inning, where the Yankees are able to tack on another run. Judge walks, Bellinger singles. So of course Bellinger has been really dialed in recently. Dominguez grounds into a fielder's choice, but there's an error, so Bellinger's safe. Volpe strikes out, and then Austin Wells hits that sac fly to make it 5-1. De Los Santos, gives a leadoff single up to Adele. Strikes out Chris Taylor, who just joined the team from the Angels. Mark Leiter comes in, gives up a single, so first and third, 1 out. But like we've seen Mark Leiter getting the Yankees, after that grand slam he gave up, in the second series of the season against Arizona, big spots, gets Nito to strike out and Schnall to ground out the second. 9th inning, Yankees go down 1-2-3, and then with a 4-run lead, they go to Luke Weaver, who he gave up a run last time out, and just I think has been used a lot, so I think not completely sharp, and he gets Moncada to fly out, walks Taylor Ward, gets Soler to line out for the second out of the inning, but then gives up a infield single to former Met great Travis d'Arnaud.
Hey now.
So you got runners on first and third. So Angels with an opportunity there, but then he gets Adele to pop out and gets the W. So just kind of interesting. He had pitched the game before, but to go with him in a non-save situation, I guess my feeling here was just that Boone knows that the Angels, have a pretty good offense, and rather than, put in somebody else and then maybe there's an issue and then Weaver's got to just kind of get it, just secure the win, move on. But you would think because of his recent use, he'll be unavailable today. But don't worry about today. And, this was just another win here, for the Yankees, and it gives them an opportunity to win their 7th straight series, later this evening. So in a good spot here, 33-20, 6-game lead in the division. You love to see that. And I think this is the biggest. This 6-game is a lead is a bigger lead than they had at any point last season, which is kind of interesting.
Okay, there we go.
So I mean, they're just in a good spot, and you really don't feel like they're facing any heat. From anybody behind them. It just seems like those teams don't feel like playoff teams, whether we're talking about the Rays, the Jays, the Red Sox. So definitely a great spot to be. And you're just in the middle of the road trip. You won your first series. You want to take your second, and then you got an off day Thursday, and then huge series with the Dodgers on the horizon. So that's one you want to be at your best at. But for now, just enjoying, another win. And by the way, for Weaver, 46 pitches the last 2 games. So I would say definitely not going to be available for tonight's game against the Angels. But they'll piece it together. How about Yarbrough though?
Yeah, dude, y'all have been great. I mean, his 4th straight start and boasting some solid numbers. I had his page up here. Obviously, know about the start against Anaheim here, Texas. 5 innings, 1 earned run. The A's, I know it's just the A's, but still 5 innings, 2 earned runs. It's manageable. It's a guy in a position maybe you weren't really anticipating that.
No.
But I guess you're kind of rationalizing Weaver a little bit and using him. Would you would you not have brought him in? Is that
save situation? And I mean, the Angels, I know they're under 500, but we've seen them play some good ball recently. Right. It just feels like there's going to be tight situations coming up. So for instance, tonight, I mean, Rodon's on the hill. Tyler Anderson, he doesn't feel like a guy who's going to shut you down, but at the same time, he could pitch well, and you could have to go to the bullpen. So you're just going to have to, most likely, have Devin Williams close out the game at that point, or go to, somebody like Ian Hamilton, Tim Hill. So it's just, you want to always have your closer available for a save situation, and after giving up the home run the night before, I don't know, just back to back, I don't know if I would have done it, but at the end of the day, you can't argue with a win.
Who would you bring in tonight if you needed to save?
I guess, I mean, you have to go with Williams unless there's some avenue or lane where there's a bunch of lefties, so you go to Hill. But the way Williams has been pitching recently, you have to give him the call, and he's really worked himself back in the circle of trust. And it's amazing too that the first part of this season was so bad that, he's had, you think about all the appearances. I mean, he's pitched 9 innings in May. His ERA is 3. But despite that, his ERA for the season is still 6.16 because it was that bad,
He hasn't been in a safe situation since, right? Since they took him out.
So I believe there was one. Okay, actually, yeah. It looks like it's just wins and holds he's had.
Okay. So I guess you said it against the Angels. If it was a high leverage situation, it's kind of I guess best case scenario to test him out, right?
Yeah. It's just obviously you would hate though, like one bad, appearance to ruin all the goodwill that he's built up. But true. Right? Hamilton's been a little spotty recently. Right. Tim Hill, I don't know, like he's good, but at the same time, like I just feel like, you have somebody like Zach Neto at the plate.
Yeah.
Like if he throws it down the middle, it's going over the fence.
Yeah, no, true. I know it is tough, but I also would like to think that Devin Williams is like jacked up about getting back into the closing
confidence.
Role, like come on.
Yeah, but I think he gets it.
Yeah.
He knows that it was that bad where it's like you can't blame him. And at the end of the day, Luke Weaver's been that good, so I don't think it needs to be twisted here. But it's just for the well-being of Luke Weaver. Rest him today. If you need him tomorrow, great. If not, then he'll have an extended break going into a Dodgers series where, let's face it, he might need to pitch all 3 games.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
So it's a good feeling right now. What we got some comments here?
Yeah, Josh P says, I told you I like Yard.
Yes.
And I do remember him saying that when they first picked him up, dude. Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yep.
Okay, Yarborough. But also, can we give a little, shout out to, obviously Josh B being correct, but also Matt Blake. It's just unbelievable. Whatever you give him, Tim Hill, Luke Weaver, Will Warren, Ryan Yarborough. It's just unbelievable that he's able to work with anybody. And I actually just think of something. And I think he was a little spotty last time, but they extended him to 2 innings. You could go to the Loaisiga tonight too. I forgot that we have him back. But it's interesting. What would, if it was up to you, Tony, would you go with Loaisiga or Williams?
I would go with Williams.
Yeah,
it's just like I said. It's his time. Like he's kind of like you said, worked his way back into the circle of trust here.
Yeah.
Good opportunity against the Angels. You used up Weaver. Like it's worth to give him a shot here. It's what you are paying him to do is to close games. So
yeah. And did we get a couple more here?
Ernie with the beep beep. Josh P says Ernie. He also says, I remember after he first pitched and got rocked, people were signing him off. This is Yarborough. He's got nasty stuff, he says.
Yeah.
There we go.
He, like I said, he definitely had some good games against us, on the Rays the last few years. And I mentioned, I was just thinking about this too, Volpe, the big game and really big stretch recently, but you look at his first 2 seasons, 666, 657 OPS and, an average of 209, 243. So he's at 244 this year, but the difference is his on base percentage, which was under 300, is at 323 now, and the slugging is up to 440. So 16 doubles in 50 games. So you hope he's heading in the right direction. A lot to prove, but you like at least that, for right now, he's getting big hits for us. And you just hope that he continues to grow because, I was speaking of this last week, and it's just like the whole key, to making this one of the best offenses we've ever seen is, Volpe and Wells really heating up because they haven't had the best years. I know Wells, if you look at the RBIs and home runs, has done good, but in terms of the average, he's hitting 205 right now. So you'd love to see him pick it up. And as well as Jason Dominguez get a hot streak. He has had some big moments, but, we want to see him go on a heater. Cody Bellinger, another 2 hits last night. You love to see that as well. So it's just a great feeling right now if you're the Yankees. I'm looking forward to Rodon on the hill tonight. I think that's a matchup that favors the Yankees, and Tyler Anderson, I think, has put together a decent year, but he's almost like a Yarborough. I would say Yarborough is better at what he does. but just with like the soft stuff, rise on movement and location. But Yankees have done well against left-handers. Paul Goldschmidt is hitting over 500 against left-handers this year.
That's
Same thing with Aaron Judge. So I just think that bodes, really well for us. And we've talked all year about how effective Rodon has been. I mean, the last time we saw him, I saw him in person last Thursday.
Yeah. Went to dinner with him.
But he had another, great performance. And he had that one outing against the A's where he gave 4 runs over 6 innings. But other than that, I mean, this guy has been dialed in since mid-April. Every start.
And I think he was another guy too who was, I wouldn't say written off, but I mean the long ball, absolute maniac.
Like an eye roll was accompanied mentioning Rodon's name.
Exactly.
The bad playoffs last year.
But now, dude, I mean, he's absolutely killing it,
He's important.
Yeah,
he's
very
an important
important
piece. So, yeah, I definitely, I'm excited again for the game tonight. We'll see if I can make it a little further into the night. These late starts are tough. And, Tony, the battle with the sleep. Because, with the Mets, like, in the middle of a good stretch, they have a 9:40 game. I mean, what are you typically doing there? I mean, you ever go the whole distance?
I'm trying to think. I believe I went one full distance when they played the Diamondbacks, because those were the 9:40 starts.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm effing myself the next morning.
You're
I
so
was
beat.
just like, my God, dude. And then they lost that game too, so it was just like even worse. The insult to the injury.
Yeah, no, that is tough. I've been walked off on staying up till 2:00 in the morning. Not fun. Not good.
Not good, dude. Well, how long are you going? What's the distance tonight? Over, under? What are we setting it at?
I would say midnight is probably. But honestly,
Okay.
I've been, like I told you, I've been falling asleep before then. But if it's a good game, which I expect it will be, we're gonna definitely watch a good amount of it.
Hell yeah.
This is just an important part of the season. These are the places where, if you're not buttoned up and you kind of take the foot off the pedal, I mean, you can get in trouble on a 9-game road trip. So the fact that so far they've won, 3 out of the first 4 games of that trip. You love to see that. Let's go. Let's get another win tonight. So, So we'll talk more about, that game in a second. But I know the Mets, the Sal Licata walk-off.
Yes, dude, the Mets did walk it off. All right, and it was a good walk-off, or it was a great walk-off. Well, maybe not great. It was a sac fly walk-off, which is fine. Walk-off is a walk-off.
I mean, let's call it what it is. This is the type of game that was a bare minimum win, but the important part was that you got the win.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, listen, it's the White Sox. I understand the scenario here.
Yeah.
2 runs against the White Sox. I think they were 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. We know the problem's there.
Right.
There was no offense. I think you had 4 hits, 7 hits collectively as a team. It was not great, but I mean, not for nothing, you still got the win. It was the Clay Holmes start here. And honestly, not that he didn't look bad. He reached, I believe, a career high in pitch
pitches?
count. Yeah, I think 102. He's never seen triple digits before. And a lot of that was because of some problems with some walking, some control issues. You go to the first inning, the leadoff walk, dude, of classic. But does get 3 ground outs to get out of the inning. And we were matched up against Adrian Hauser, a familiar face for the New York Metropolitans here. He got no tribute video, dude. Really more about Memorial Day, the veterans, dude.
There you go.
But in any case, he got into some trouble first inning as well. Gave up a 1-out double to Nimmo, but then get back-to-back ground outs from Soto and Alonso to end the first inning. And not for nothing, I feel like Alonso was looking a little tight, not going to lie. Even though he had that, big homer, I guess, on Sunday against the Dodgers, first inning, I guess it was, right, or second inning. It just feels like, he's like his ceiling for himself is higher right now, In any case, I went through those ground outs, and that was really most of the game, obviously.
Hitting the ball right
a lot of
into the
3-ups,
ground.
a lot of 3 downs. Hauser looked really good, actually. Got quite a few strikeouts. Bottom of the second year, strikes out Beatty and Taylor back-to-back to end the inning.
Now, on these strikeouts, his ground out, any bad pitch selection, or it just kind of well located?
I would say well-located fastball, pitching, getting the corner sort of deal.
Okay.
And then going to off speed when he can to get those ground outs, lone away sliders. Beatty is chasing, Taylor is chasing, sort of deal.
Good morning, Donna Leaf-Fender.
Good morning,
Proud for the
Donna.
Yankee win last night.
As you should be,
Probably just woke up after watching the game last night.
Yeah, probably.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
She's probably at work.
Top of the fourth, we do get home into some trouble here. Leadoff walk to Tachman, dude. And wouldn't you know it, gives him a Vargas double right after that. So you have runners on second and third, no outs. Andrew Benintendi, sac fly. To the left, scoring Tachman here makes it 1-0. Holmes, couple ground outs to end the inning. So again, I mean, for Clay Holmes, not for nothing. I mean, obviously, like I mentioned, the control issues were here. I think he had 4 walks on the day. I'll have to double check that. But at that point, 1-0, gets through the fifth as well after giving up a leadoff double, gets 2 ground outs and a strikeout to end the inning there. So we go to top of the sixth here, which was his final inning. Gets back-to-back lineouts here, so 2 outs. Benintendi reaches an infield single to first. Was a hard-hit ball. Alonso just couldn't really play it. That's fine. And then Robert, another infield single to short. Benintendi ended up going to third. I could be wrong, but I think Lindor bobbled this one. But I think, again, hard-hit ball, so they didn't score it, an error or anything. And then a walk to walk the bases loaded here. That was the end of Holmes' night after that. Buteau comes in, ground out to second, ends the inning. Thank God. Because obviously when you have bases loaded like that, you never know, especially even with Buteau bringing in, he can come in. You're not exactly have the world's confidence in his pitching ability. And we've seen him walk runners in this year. So in any case, it was 1-0 game until when, Brian? Until we go bottom of the eighth here, okay? So we have Boozer in for Chicago pitching. Alvarez, leadoff single. We did Acuna to run for Alvarez. You think he would kind of do some things. He doesn't really steal anything, but does go from first to third on a Nimmo single to right. So great pinch run, I should say. Runners in the corners with 1 out. Soto, a sac fly to left. Acuna scores. That tied the game up. Chicago ends up getting out of the inning. Beatty lines out to right. Beatty 0 for 4 yesterday after a hot 3 games in a row, I think. 2 of them back-to-back against the Dodgers. And then, of course, bottom of the 9th here, Lindor. Taylor gets a leadoff double.
Lindor,
Dave, which I'm sure Dave is probably a little happy with Lindor this season. But after Torrens single, moving Taylor to third, Lindor, the sac fly.
Oh, so there was no
outs.
Nobody out. That's why I said Licata.
The Licata deal here, dude. I mean, listen, regardless, it was a sack fly. Good shit for Lindor. Good shit to get the win, Brian.
Bare minimum.
Bare minimum, it is. And obviously, we talked about, even for the Yankees on this kind of home stretch or in this road trip, we have a home stretch. And of course,
is it 9?
I think it is. Yeah, 3 Dodgers, 3 Chicago, and then 3. I think it's maybe the Nationals. Another bad team, I think. But again, to go back to that, I mean, these are expected wins. You're at home. You have the good record. I want to say you have 20 wins at home this season. And of course, it is the White Sox. So, 1-run game, 2 runs scored or not, getting the win is definitely the most important thing here. Obviously, you look at this. I mentioned, I think, the 1 for 7 with the scoring position. I mentioned Soto, just with sack by RBI, 0 for 2 in the night. Lindor, the 1 for 4. Nimmo, I guess, has been hitting a little bit better in the 2-hole rather than batting cleanup. But in any case, you still want some of the bottom half of your line to get some runs. And you had the bases loaded twice. And you let the White Sox get out of it. So obviously some better situational hitting would be good. Beatty, after I think he had 7 hits in 3 games, now has back-to-back games with no hits. So, obviously the ups and downs, ebbs and flows with him. Alvarez has been someone who just really has not been going offensively, dude.
Yeah, and I think Rick and Dave were talking about it this morning, or with Buster, I think. And it was almost like just alluding to the fact that, maybe Torrens is really better off being the starting catcher.
Yeah, I mean, Torrens defensively is phenomenal.
Yeah. It's not like Alvarez has been hitting, right?
No, yeah, exactly. Torrens hasn't been really hitting either.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe give Alvarez some more time, but It's tough, dude. I mean, Torrens has had some good situational hitting this year, but I mean, if Alvarez isn't getting the power going, like, I mean, you're right. I mean, I think it is, maybe worth a look to get Torrens in there, give him a little bit of break. I don't know if that hand still is bothering him. I mean, he's had the surgery on it, obviously, this season, and then I think maybe his 4th game back, he was hit at the plate right in his hand there. So, I mean, who knows if it's a lingering issue right now. But obviously you want him to get going. And I mentioned, the homestand here. You're obviously back on the diamond today. Back up against the White Sox. Who do the White Sox have pitching today? Is Cannon against McGill here. And I mean, I guess Cannon has a number, somewhat similar to McGill this season so far. But, I mean, you're thinking McGill get right spot. He's had maybe 3 starts that have been, needless to say, lackluster.
He's giving up 3 or 4 runs every start.
Yeah, and not really going deep into games here. So, hopefully, he gets something going. As I mean, not for nothing, in Chicago yesterday, they had 4 hits, 1 earned run on a sac fly. Like, this is a game that is very pitchable. And that was on a Clay Holmes spot where, not for nothing, he was giving up a lot of walks. So, I mean, hopefully McGill can kind of dial it and get his control underneath his belt, because that was definitely a problem with him these past few starts. I mean, it's the control issues. First inning, giving up 2 walks, walking yourself into a jam. Yes, maybe he gets out of it sometimes, but it's just, you don't need that sort of thing. And then obviously, you want your bats to heat up, and I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like I've been saying this. I feel like at least since the Yankees series, I just feel like a lot of Met batters just aren't like being aggressive at the plate at the right times. It's like I want to see you guys jump on a first pitch.
That's there. You're jumping on the wrong first pitch.
Exactly. I mean, maybe it is confidence or pitch recognition, but I just feel like they have to be a little bit more aggressive in that sense. And hopefully, again, I mean, runners in scoring position. I mean, that's been the story of the entire season where they've been lackluster. So, I mean, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just because, you're at the bottom half of your lineup by the time you get runners on the bases, right? So, that's when you do look for those guys like Alvarez and Beatty to get runners in. So I guess we'll see what happens tonight. But obviously you're expecting the dub. I mean, it's the White Sox,
Right.
And it's kind of crazy that I'm kind of sitting here trying to get the Mets out of the slump that they're in when, they do have 33 wins on the season, So you're in a good position. I guess I haven't looked at the standings this weekend, but obviously Phillies, I'm pretty sure they're still in first. Braves seemingly knocking
game and a half up
door, dude. So
Braves 7 games back of the Mets.
Of the Mets.
Third.
Okay. I mean, nobody's safe here. All right, Brian?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens.
We've seen big leads before.
Mm-hmm. Blown.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, you would think, I mean, it's just, this sets up, for McGill to bounce back. And you would think the offense too, maybe Soto finally.
Oh my God.
We are.
Dude.
I mean, we pretty much where, like, we're coming up, 2 weeks from Thursday, June 12th, where it's going to be the same conversation with Dave, but about Soto.
Yeah. I mean, if this persists,
Yeah.
And again, I mean, this is a big homestand. You would think. I mean, he's being well received, like at home. Like, it's not like he's being booed.
I heard though. No. I heard there was a slight amount of booze.
There's discomfort,
Yeah.
for sure, dude. But again, I mean, it's not.
As long as it's not in his ultracollateral ligament, right?
Yeah.
Then you're good.
Yes.
That discomfort.
Yes, exactly, dude. But like you said, though, I mean, this homestand, the White Sox, like, this is like a tipping point,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see, dude.
And then a couple of things I found interesting. First, I just saw this on X. Anthony Volpe leads American League shortstops with 31 RBIs.
There we go.
So, you love to see that. Hopefully the average continues to climb. But also, too, that I was thinking about this with, like, the Angels having their late game yesterday. I mean, even locally, 6:40 there. That's late on Memorial Day. But I guess typically that's what their owner does because he sees that there's Artie Moreno, that there's higher attendance at night, so he limits the day games. Even on days where they need to fly, go somewhere, doesn't care. Would rather have the team be tired for the next game, which is obviously brutal. But to my next point, which, and I was mentioning this yesterday, I don't know if you heard me, but how is it not that the local time of every game on Memorial Day should start at 1 o'clock?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
No night games at all.
Yeah, I was even thinking about that yesterday because not for nothing. there was really not much baseball to be watched early
There was
on.
one 1 o'clock game in Detroit. That's it.
And I was like, kind of just found myself just sitting around waiting for the 3 o'clock hockey game, sort of deal where it's like, yeah, I could.
You and 10 others.
Yeah. But at least, 1 o'clock, you're getting 2 hours of baseball, from 1 to 3. And it's like, I don't know, maybe. I don't know what the numbers are, or maybe like during the day because people are outside. There's just not as much.
If a good team is playing, that stadium's gonna be.
Attendance would be great.
Yeah,
maybe they're thinking more TV ratings.
I don't know. I just think it's just that's just what baseball should be. 4th of July, Memorial Day. The grill's going. You got the TV outside by the pool.
Yeah.
The materials have the radio on at the pool. Who knows?
Yes.
Right?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Was there any of that?
Well, the game was on by the time. Well, actually, the Met game was late anyway. So
4 o'clock. You weren't still in the pool?
No, out of the pool, prepping dinner, dude.
Okay,
chopping the lettuce, the tomatoes inside.
Okay.
So it kind of worked out very nicely for us. But I guess we had music bumping in the backyard, though.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, the focus on the TV.
I gotcha.
It would be nice to have. I was thinking about it. Outside TV would be dope.
Oh yeah. By the pool, you
oh
can't,
my god,
you can't
dude.
beat that.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. But so I think now are we updated on the
We're not
picks?
updated.
Okay.
These
Here,
picks
you
I
want to
have.
actually
were
just
from-
update them real quick?
Yeah, you go do your thing, dude. All right, so our picks from Friday. I'll go back to Friday. Hold on, stand by. Bang. All right, so Brian was 9-7 going into Friday. He had Yankees and the over, which obviously the Yankees lost, and it was the under. So it's 0-2 Friday with the Yankees here. And he had a makeup game as well. So he had Tigers and the under also. Let's see. Tigers and the under, that was 1-1. So I'll put him at 1-3 right there. Pirates and the under is also Paul Skeens. Pirates and the over, dude. So that makes it 2-4. And then the makeup game with the Phillies and the under. The Phillies won. And I want to say it hit the under right there right. There's no way it was a less than 7. Absolutely not. So that's a 2-0 spot. So you went 4-4.
What else is new?
It's pretty solid here, which would put you at 13.
13?
No, 13-11.
13-11. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
And then what's your record?
I didn't do mine yet. Hold on. So I had Mets.
Can you hold on a second?
Yeah, can you hold on a second, man? I had Mets in the over, which they lost to the Dodgers, and it definitely went over. So it's 1-1. And then I had the Angels in the over, which that hit. So that's 3-1 right there. And then I had Cubs in the over as well. Cubs in the over. They scored 13. That's right, dude. So that is a 5-1 spot. Which would put me at 15-11.
Was there another rainout?
I guess so, right? Did we miss one?
Must have been the case.
I guess so, right? Because you had 2 extra points here, 4-4.
Yeah.
I guess you had to do another makeup game.
All right. That's fine. So I guess that means
that means
we're on the
dude.
precipice of another 7-pack MLB pick segment brought to you by the Hearst Law Firm. And I believe you're batting lead off because
Paul Skeens, you went right? Oh no, we got Yankees first. Yeah, I don't know, right? I don't know.
No, hold on. Let's just think about this for a second. So I had an extra pick. Yeah. You going last would mean I picked first. Remember, because I jumped the gun.
You jumped the gun. Yeah,
so
that's right, dude.
It is your pick.
All right, so it's my pick here, and you know the deal, dude. We're going to Citi Field. All right, beautiful Citi Field. Drove by it last night. It was looking gorgeous. The big Mets win right there on the side there. In any case, dude, big game here today. McGill, I mentioned the get right spot. I really hope he does. I could see maybe him getting into some trouble with the walks. Maybe give him a 2-run double or something in the 5th. Not good there, but 5 2/3. I'll give him 2 earned runs, I guess. But I'll see the Mets bats go hot, red hot. Dude, we mentioned Alvarez, we mentioned Soto Two guys, needless to say, lackluster so far
Two homers.
this season. 2 homers. Why not in the same inning,
I wonder
Brian?
if Ernie has the kahunas to bat on that.
That'd be quite the parlay there,
inning.
dude. The same in any winning bet, Ernie. I'll say that comes around the 3rd inning, dude. Maybe a 2-run blast by Soto, a solo shot by Alvarez. Mets go up, like 3-0 early on, dude. They tack it on towards the end as well. Maybe like a bases clearing double by Taylor, let's say, dude. Lindor, a 2-for-4 night with a ribby. Maybe Alonso's a little quiet, but nonetheless, Mets move on to put up 8 on the White Sox, give up 3. They win this game. Give me Mets in the over, 8-3. Let's go.
All right. So back to Anaheim, back to Angel Stadium, back to your New York Yankees. Carlos Rodon, Tyler Anderson, 938. Yankees minus 190, total at 8.5. And I like the Yankees in the over here. I mean, let's grab our 7th straight series. And I think Rodon, maybe, the bullpen a little taxed. How about 7 strong? I think he allows 2 earned runs, strikes out 9. And I think the Yankees, get the bats going. And I think they put up a 7 spot. Aaron Judge with his 19th home run of the season. We've been calling for Wells forever. It has to be tonight. When else would it be? So we'll say Austin Wells with a homer as well. And at the end of the day, it's Yankees winning this game 7-3. So give me the Yankees in the over.
Yankees and the over. I like it, dude. Let's go now. Bang, over here. Let's go to Texas. Why not? The Rangers having their 2nd game of this 3-game set against the Blue Jays here. Yesterday, they lost 2-1 to the Blue Jays. Obviously, not a lot of offense. I think that will change here tonight, at least on one side of the game here. I'm just trying to look see who pitched. Oh, that's right. It's been pitched actually really well. Back-to-back good starts. Fantasy team, yes, dude. Speaking of that, the Rangers here, Valdi, good starts here. 1.60 ERA, 4-3 on the season. A little surprising, obviously, the Rangers maybe not having the best year offensively here, or bullpen-wise, I guess, if you're thinking about that. Nonetheless, Eovaldi here, 67 1/3 innings pitched, 71 Ks. Obviously having a great season so far, only 4 home runs given up. He'll be matched up against Bowden Francis, who's boasting a 5.54 ERA. I say offensive explosion here by Texas. We've seen it. Yes, few and far between, but I think they're due. Adolis Garcia, I say he gets 3 RBIs on the night to make it 30 on the season, with the dinger to make it 8 on the year. I guess Josh Jung hitting well, as well as Langford, I guess, leading the team with home runs. Only 10, though, but not a lot of power for Texas. Nonetheless, here, over, under 7.5. I say Eovaldi maybe gives up 2, maybe. Rangers score 6, so I guess I'll take Rangers and the over, I guess, there.
All right, so number two. Let's go to Chicago. Let's go to the Windy City. Let's go to Wrigley Field. Cubs playing the Rockies. Herman Marquez, 1-7, 7.66 earned run average, going up against Cade Horton, who, his numbers look like he's Whitey Ford compared to Marquez, 2-0, 4.40, only 14 innings pitched on the year. But regardless, Cubs been one of the best teams in baseball. How about Seiya Suzuki? No one's talking about him. 49 RBIs this year to go along with 14 home runs. We talk about Pete Crow Armstrong, Nico Warner having a good year as well. This is ugly. I think this is like 15-4. So give me the Cubs in the over. The total's only at 7.5. Trap, you may say. But I say the Cubs might hit that number themselves.
Yeah, dude, I like that call right there. Pete Crow, dude, looking really good.
Little
PCA, dude, I know. The PCA, the TCA. Doesn't matter,
the PCH.
Dude. The PCH, dude. We're going to go to Philly for our next game. I know division here. But I'm in it for the picks. Here. I think things could get ugly at Citizens Bank Park here. The Braves coming in here at 25-27. You mentioned 7.5 games back of the Mets. I guess that would be an 8.5 right back from the Phillies, or 9 back from the Phillies if it's a game and a half there. Nonetheless, dude, Spencer Strider on the bump, 0-2 in the season. Yes, we know the injuries, but we also know the 5.79 ERA. 9 innings pitched here, 11 hits given up. Ks are there, I suppose, at 8, but 2 home runs given up. I think he may give up 4 home runs just tonight by himself. He gets tattooed on the mound. Kyle Schwarber, who is tied for most home runs in the league at 18, right? With Judge and Ohtani, dude. In any case, I think he puts 2 out tonight, taking the outright lead for home run leader this season. Phillies improved to, 10-1 in their last 11. Braves, I think, are 5-5. But they're going to drop this one here. Just too much here for the Braves. Too much for Spencer Strider. Over under 8.5. Like I said, things are getting ugly. Phillies put a 10 spot. Phillies in the over. Bang.
All right. For my third of 4 with the makeup game looming, Tony, I'm going to go with the Padres. And I think, they got off to such a hot start. It kind of tapered recently. You looked at Tatis. He was hitting well all season, averaged down to 275. Manny Machado is still hitting 319, though, which is pretty good. So Max Meyer had a great start earlier this year. I think 14 strikeouts going up against Stephen Kolek. A lot of people are probably not familiar with him,
Nope.
But 284 ERA, filling in with the injuries to the Padres rotation. He's pitched well. I have him on my deeper fantasy team. I think he can go 6 innings and give up 1 earned run, striking out 7. I think this is an under game, but I think the Padres holding Miami at bay here win 5-2. So get right spot after winning in extras last night. So we'll say Padres in the under, and then we got one more selection to go here. Couple different places we could go. You didn't take the Giants game, right?
Nope.
All right. I am going to go with John Pollock's Tigers here, hosting the Giants. This is a good pitching matchup. Jack Flaherty going up against Logan Webb. The Tigers, still have the most wins in the American League here at 35. And, recently have won their last 2 after dropping 3 in a row to Cleveland. And the Giants have lost 2 out of their last 3. But I think Flaherty, who's been spotty this year, has a good start against the Giants. I think he'll go 6 innings, striking out 8 2-earned runs. And I think the offense gets going for Detroit. Give Glaber a 3-run homer. And I think the Tigers win 5-2. So we'll say Tigers in the under. And just like that, that is your 7-pack MLB pick segment here. Game 2 of these series. Just time to pick up another dub. Right? That's all you could really say.
Yeah, that's right. No excuses here. Just like you said, pick up the dub.
No excuses. Play like a champion. And it's interesting because I think Josh had said before about the only game is the Knicks tonight.
He did say that.
But it's like I feel like we're intrigued. But let's face it, Tony. We would we would sacrifice that for a W for baseball. I know people don't want to hear it. You're not, especially you, to the White Sox. You're not.
Oh yeah. No, if I had to choose, only one team would win tonight. Sorry,
but
Josh,
everybody already knows this. But obviously, we hope it all happens.
Yes, obviously, New York wins across the board.
Yeah. How about grids across the board?
How about grids across the board? Strike up the music again.
The Swami, where did he go? We don't know.
Who knows?
This could be a little difficult, this one, too. So not the best opportunity to
dude.
Have a little sabbatical.
Love the Pirates. But let's see. I think we got some names, dudes.
All-star for the Pirates, a middle right, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, dudes.
That's gonna be like .002.
Love that.
0.4. Okay, so we like that. All-star for the Red Sox.
I would say Jason Bay.
Wait, that was the all-star. Or wait, what are you saying?
All-star for Red Sox.
Really? We're positive. I don't know why I'm blanking on Jason Bay on the Red Sox.
He definitely was in the Red Sox.
Wait, was an all-star? I don't.
Yeah, I think so.
If you want to put the whole grid up, I just feel like we can go with Papelbon and it's fine, I feel like go Papelbon just in case, Tony.
All right, dude.
And and actually, just for you, I have on my screen. If this loads, I'm gonna try to submit that. To
yeah.
So 2%.
Okay.
It's
2%'s great. Probably better
lacking.
call.
I'll let you know once this gets back up to speed here. So a 40 career WAR and an All-Star. Scott Rowland.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like that's kind of been one of our favorite.
Go-to.
.2. Yeah, no one thinks they're rolling.
Yeah, no one does, dude. It says 0.3, by the way.
And then the Giants and the Pirates, and then the 2000s.
Didn't Alou play for both? Moises
Alou. I know he played for the Giants. If you know,
I'm pretty sure he played. I mean, the amount of times we've looked him up.
Yeah. 0.4. There we go.
8.
Oh. I guess it's time for a glasses check here, huh? 40 career WAR. The Giants.
Buster.
Too
high.
Too high. I feel like.
I
was trying to think about somebody that they had acquired, or just go McCovey. I don't know.
Really?
I was just trying to think if there was anybody that they acquired over the last couple of years that was like near the end, and
I don't know.
Yeah.
8%.
Not bad.
Not bad at all,
dude. There's somebody that I'm not thinking about with the Giants and the Red Sox.
For the Red Sox. Who is that pitcher who came up with the Yankees?
Dave Righetti?
No. And he pitched for the Mets for a hot second too. I'm pretty sure he was on Boston before the Mets and Giants after the Yankees.
Starter?
Bullpen guy.
He
was on the Mets in like 20. This was like 4 or 5 years ago.
He's on the Mets.
Was it Nunez?
Oh, I kind of feel like I
Eduardo Nunez.
But he's not a pitcher, like Eduardo Nunez. But he definitely played for the Giants. He was an infielder.
But I'm thinking of a different guy. Different Nunez.
I know he played for the Red Sox. I'm not sure about the Giants. It's crazy. I mean, Ernie, I guess, it makes sense.
Is that nothing?
Closing, what does Josh say?
Wow, he says, you're crazy. Yankees could lose next 3 if Knicks win the series.
But, listen, Josh, I wish, I'm just trying to be honest with you, bud. I'm sorry. Like, I hope they win, but it just, there's priorities.
Did he play the field then, that Nunez?
Like, I feel like he did. By the way, Tony.
What do you got?
Credit where credit is due. Jason Bay, 0.5.
Ooh.
I heard the score. I don't know if we take the chance with Nunez.
Okay.
Right? Or no, it's just.
No, yeah. I think you're right. I don't know. It's tough, dude. 2000 career hits.
Was Rod back on the Giants?
I don't know.
I feel like he was, but not sure. 2000 career hits for the Sox.
Boggs? Would that be too obvious? I mean,
maybe.
Kind of.
Yaz? Carl Yastrzemski?
Would that be too obvious? Probably not.
No, yeah, I think everyone's forgot about Yaz.
12%, not bad. Do you want to do A-Rod for the 40 WAR 2000 hits?
Yeah.
All right, I feel like there's going to be mad. It doesn't really matter, right?
Oh, I thought of one, too, for, yeah, that's good.
2%.
Giants, Red Sox, Edgar Renteria. I don't know if it's too high. Or you think it's fine?
I mean, at this point...
Who cares?
2%, dude.
Okay.
There we go.
In 2000 career hits for the Pirates. Lou would have been a good one.
Oh.
And I feel like this is an Ernie situation.
Yeah, this is definitely
like
an Ernie situation.
There's just so many guys that we're not thinking about. What do we got here?
Nathan Clemente, obviously, he
Pirates,
calls.
2000 hits.
I mean, that's going to be 100%, dude.
99%.
Yeah.
No, but obviously we appreciate the
Of course,
suggestion.
of course.
I don't know if Erasmus Ramirez got there. I don't know if McCutcheon has 2,000 hits, but then again, like, would that be obvious? Do you just do Bobby Bonds? Does he have 2,000 hits?
I feel like we got burned on Bonds for
Yeah.
that before. I feel like we did.
We might have to call Ernie.
I feel like McCutcheon must have done it, right? He's been
But I feel like
around forever.
don't we have a good grid going here? I mean, we got
We do have a good. We have a very solid. Well, yeah. I guess 20. We're at like probably 30%. We'll probably end with high 20s. I guess.
Pirates. I'm trying to think if there was. What did Josh say?
He says it wouldn't stop us from winning the East, dude. Come on.
No. Don't do that, dude. You can't do that.
But like, to win the series, like for the Knicks to win the series.
No, I don't. There's nothing I'm sacrificing because it's just basketball is kind of beat, honestly. But I just hope the Knicks win.
How about Nathan coming in with a Willie Stargell?
Go Willie Stargell.
Why not, dude?
It might be a little high, but it won't be as high as Yastrzemski.
No way, dude. Willie.
9%.
9%, 37,
okay. So it's just funny.
Dude.
We've set such a high standard because we just, rip these grids these days, Tony. But, I mean, we're putting up numbers left and right. What did I mess up? Oh, the Josh Donaldson was probably our only mistake in a month.
Yeah, literally. That's right.
I mean, it's unbelievable at one point. And shout out Nathan, that was a nice assist there.
Hell yeah.
But at one point, what a struggle these grids were. And
I
now
know,
it's like,
dude.
Ernie can enjoy retirement at this point.
Yeah, dude. Focus on the betting.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely pumped for the Yankees, right where we want to be. And I saw a heel, I guess, in the Dodgers series. We'll throw off a mound. Still saying, 2 months, so we're talking, end of July, August. But listen, we just need him for the stretch run. And when it did start, because Clark Schmidt came back, I believe, in August last year, you were comparing it to that injury. So nice that there are reinforcements coming. And let's go. So looking forward to that. But let's go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner! That's the middle, great hit, Cameron. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So Tony, the Hurricanes living to die another day. Last night, Happy Memorial Day.
You still know what that means?
No, I referenced it yesterday.
Yeah,
so it still doesn't make sense. So I mean, they're alive for now. I mean, what did you make of the victory here for Carolina? Too little, too late? Day late, dollar short?
Yeah, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, listen, I mean, obviously, Carolina, great.
Kudos to Freddie.
Kudos to Freddie, the shutout. I mean, what an answer for him. But I think they're even still may not even start him next game. Kachekov, I don't know the deal.
If you don't have one, if you have two goalies, you don't have one, right?
Exactly, dude. And it's just like you said, too little, too late here. It's cute, honestly. I mean, listen, it's the best way to answer it in a shutout like this. But at the end of the day, I mean, the Panthers have been so freaking good. I mean, they're not going to win the next 3 games. They're not going to lose, the next 3 games. They're going to win at least one game. And it's going to be the next one, most likely, in my opinion. So,
history would say.
I don't think anyone in the Eastern Conference Final came down from 3-0. 3-0. I think that's what they said.
Yeah, there's been a couple hockey teams have in general, but it was like a long time ago, right?
Yeah,
like no recent times.
No
3-0 deficit.
Oh no. So obviously, I mean, you tip your hat to the Hurricanes, but I mean, like you said, too little, too late. Panthers still powerhouse.
Ready to defend that cup. And will it be against the Oilers who played tonight? We didn't have you here yesterday, but that resounding win on Sunday.
Yeah.
Probably threw you for a loop. I was even saying, didn't expect it to be like that for them to take control of this series the way they did. I mean, pretty impressive with another home game looming tonight at Rogers Center.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, that game was interesting, dude. I mean, it's I think DeBoer was pretty upset. Needless to say, with some of the calls, I think on the ice,
riled.
Nabi was riled. There was a point because I was watching this game at home. I forget who exactly it was, but there should have been a delay of game penalty.
Okay.
Against the Oilers, refs didn't see it. So they don't call it, and then that was when the Oilers scored 2 goals in 37 seconds, like right after that. So it's like, again, like the Stars team where they thought, they were arguing, DeBoer was arguing, with the refs, like where's the penalty, how do you not call that sort of deal? you kind of think you're going to go on a man advantage 1 second, then all of a sudden you're down by 2 goals the next second. And that's what the Oilers do to you. They take moments like that, and they make you pay for it. Scoring those 2 goals, like I said, in 36 seconds. One of them being McDavid's goal. And I think it was his first goal in like 6 games, I think, or something like that, which is, pretty ridiculous when you think that I think he's still tied for the most points this playoff season, and obviously most of them, if not all of them, coming from assists. But regardless, dude, I mean, even barring the refs or whatever nonsense, if you're Dallas here, you've got to play better defense. I mean, I don't necessarily blame Otten for those 2 goals. I think there was a 3-on-1, that second goal given up after like a bad turnover in the offensive zone. And not for nothing, dude. I mean, it's almost the same song and dance for Dallas last postseason. They get to this big spot. I mean, yes, they've gotten further than last season, but they're in a big spot and their stars just are not showing up. Jason Robertson, someone who obviously came in injured, but I think has 1 goal through 9 games. Same thing with Matt Duchene. I think he has 16 playoff games. He's got like 3 goals or something like that. A guy who led the team, in points this year. I mean, like your guy's not showing up, and Rantanen even has not been showing up this series. It's like, yes, you do well against Colorado. That's awesome. You make a big statement there. You have a hat trick in a game. That's great. But it's like, right now when your team needs you, you're not on the score sheet, So their stars, their big names have to show up, especially with the Rupe Hintz injury. I don't know if he was
spotted at skate.
Yeah, dude. I don't know why. Why did I look up Dubois when I went to go Rupe Hintz? I'm thinking Dubois, dude. Rupe Hintz warm up, but sits out game 3 loss. We know hopes to play in game 4 here. And you know what? Not for nothing, dude. That's another thing that Pete DeBoer was tight at. I don't know if you heard. Hintz took a bad slash to the shin, like top of the skate with no padding. I think by Bouchard, and he's been out for basically a game and a half. And I don't know if you saw DeBoer, but he was like, not for nothing. Like, if the player named Connor McDavid, that happened to him, like there'd probably be like a suspension being given out, or at least a penalty.
Yeah.
So
not
good there.
But
again,
also no excuse at the same time. You got
there is no excuse. Like I said,
you
have to have your guys show up here.
Yeah.
No one's showing up. I mean, it sucks that you're down one of your stars. Hopefully he comes in, they figure it out. But until then, you just at this point just show up, dude. You need better offense. You need more offense here.
Yeah. And Josh B kind of saying some were lost, and he says it's because you live to fight another day. Which I believe I corrected you with originally, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing, though. Like,
but it's that, like, you know what I mean? It's just in terms of a known saying.
Right,
like,
yeah.
You could say that, but I think that's like been the popular saying over the years.
All right, well, that's fine by me. I'm gonna popularize this one. All right, dude. Listen, give it a week, and on first take they'll be saying we have to die another day. All right.
Now, Michael Vufka going to Pepe's tonight. Rob for some pizza. That's awesome. Tony's tight, but I think he'll enjoy it, honestly.
I mean, I can go for some pizza for sure, dude.
But Fairfield Pepe, some qualms, or
some qualms. But I mean, again, I think last time I went there, it was good.
Yeah. No. I think it also too, like you're compared to these other places and the moldy salad at Luigi's, like Pepe's is gonna be at least okay. You know, like
we haven't been back to Luigi's in a while, dude. I honestly couldn't tell you, but again, they started fucking up the cook.
Yeah,
like it's just the pie.
It seems like just restaurant issues just follow you recently. Wild Wings, right?
Yeah, that's right, maybe, dude.
And then that other place, I forgot. Remember that was like kind of newer in Fairfield, and like you were saying, like the worst service ever. I forget the name of it.
Oh, Rybird, the chicken place. Yes, dude. I don't know how they're still in business, to be honest.
Maybe they're not.
I really don't. No, they are. They're still there. I drive by it. I want to see.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that place sham.
Michael
bucket.
also says pizza is too fucking good there. What's your go-to pizza, Michael? What do you think he's gonna say there? To me, he seems like a pepperoni guy, or no?
I think he's a plain cheese guy.
Plain cheese. I wonder who gave him that idea. But I have to say, I have like grown. Like I still basically get toppings all the time, but like certain places I do think have like a good like cheese pizza. Jenny's in Monroe is one that is.
Oh yeah,
you've never had Jenny's?
No,
right?
never.
The sausage pizza, unbelievable. Anchovies with hot cherry peppers, the tongue out and everything with the emoji. I mean, come on, Michael.
Have you ever had anchovies on pizza?
No, I probably by accident in a Caesar salad, and then Jeremy. Stop. Pizza at Pepe's is to die for. So he's kind of using your saying there to die another day.
Yeah, dude. Is he going Fairfield? Did he say?
He must
probably
be.
right.
It wouldn't make sense really to go elsewhere.
New Haven, it's not even worth it.
I need to go
dude.
to Roseland. It's been so long.
Ooh, dude, I'd be down to go back there. It was so good when we went there.
Yeah. No, I haven't had it in years. I've only had it like probably twice my whole life.
They're like their pasta seems good there, dude.
I would love to try it all. Honestly, I heard the antipasta everybody likes.
Oh man,
he says
dude.
Barnes. I'm jacked. Fairfield, yes. So he's
F
pumped
New
up
Haven.
for that. Get some pizza and then go home and watch watch the Yankee game. So he's got night all set up for him.
By himself, dude.
But no TVs for the Knicks game at Pepe. So that's kind of tough for him. But I don't know. Maybe he's not watching.
Oh yeah, that is tough, dude. I guess maybe not, dude.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go now to the world of the National Basketball Association.
LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
Now, that was a little
something.
Now, any Knicks game on at the Materiello household on Sunday?
No.
The Mets, come on.
The Mets on.
So never, like your parents never liked the
They
Knicks?
don't like basketball.
Yeah, so that the trickle down effect. No, it's funny. It was always the same way in my family. Especially NBA, they still don't like it. But then we got into college a little bit. But.
Yeah, my parents. My dad hates the sound of like the ball bouncing and the sneakers squeaking.
Gotcha.
He's like, I can't handle this. So that's that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what did you make though? The 20-point comeback. I mean, do you think we're gonna see the Knicks even this up tonight?
I mean, maybe. I'm not like thrilled, I guess. I mean, you look at the 20-point comeback and it's like, dude, is that what has to happen for them to win games?
Right.
Like,
I mean, the third
like,
time
why
this
is that?
postseason.
Yeah, why is that a thing, dude? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like a similar fashion where it is like a lower scoring game too. Like there's big defense that comes up down the stretch of the game. So I mean, maybe. I don't know, man. I mean, I still feel like the Pacers deeper team. You got a lot of contributions, or some at least, from your bench. I suppose, what is that? 14, 22 points from your bench, I suppose.
Which, I mean, I think you're under like you're in single digits typically.
Yeah, exactly. Which I know it means like I'm saying contribution from your bench, but it's like that's for them. It's a lot.
Moving to the
dude.
bench was big. I mean, 8 and 10. I mean, I think that worked out well. Getting Mitch in there.
Yeah.
He had 6 boards, and played some good defense.
Exactly. So I mean, it just I don't know, but I mean, is that like? Because Rick and Dave were talking about it on the radio. I mean, are you gonna trade off better defense for a little bit maybe less offense necessarily?
I think it's fine just because Hart is I think I like him off the bench. He can score, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and it seems like he doesn't do anything else.
Right.
Right. Like that's the only thing he really does.
Yeah. It gets rebounds.
Right.
10 boards, but like obviously from a different spot in the court versus Mitch, being down low.
Yeah. So I think that's obviously boded well in terms of keeping the Pacers at bay. I mean, Halliburton only had 20, right? 7 for 15 from the field.
They didn't hit their 3-pointers.
They did not hit
That was
their
the difference in this game.
Was that 20% from 3? 5 for 25, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
but again,
Smith had more than that in game 1
yeah,
himself.
But that's what I mean. Like, is it like it kind of feels like a one-off like victory sort of deal? Because it's like, are they going to shoot 5 for 25 again?
Well,
from
you just
3?
have
Like,
to
probably
get
not.
in their face. I've been saying this all postseason. I mean, that's the difference if you want to get the job.
You would say that's the difference this game, though. Like they were missing their shots, not because the Pacers were off, but because the Knicks were playing tighter defense.
I still don't think they've played good enough defense on the 3-point shot.
Okay.
So I think get in their face, and you got to hit a couple yourself. And then
Yeah.
also, does this feel like if they win, this is like a game where Brunson's going to have 40?
Yeah.
Tight late, though. I think another tight finish here.
Yeah, which again, I mean, they have to, hit your big shots at that point because you go back to game 1. Brunson had 43 points, and then a loss in overtime. So it's like, at the end of the day, I suppose as long as you are, making those bigger shots down the stretch, which Obviously, last night they did, outscoring in the fourth quarter, 36-20, which was great. But we'll see. I mean, I think there's still a lot left to be desired. And like I said, right now it feels like it is a one-off win. If they tie it up and come back to the Garden at that point, a tied series. I mean,
it's a whole new ballgame.
Whole new ballgame. Whole new Garden, dude.
Right.
Okay.
A renewed sense of optimism. Either that or it's the funeral.
Yes, dude.
But not really, because they'll still be going nuts. And then if they win, just one on the road, go back home. But just take care of it tonight. I think that's the whole key. Otherwise, Otherwise, I think it's over. Honestly. Obviously, technically not, but putting three with your back against the wall is kind of tough.
Kind of tough is right. An understatement, really, dude.
And I think Josh was getting it twisted. I mean, we're rooting for it. It just other things in mind, right?
Yes, other things are in mind, but
now
I'm sure we'll have it on at the studio. Michael, Theophil, Riles.
Craig, a big Knicks fan?
No.
Come on, Tony. Like, obviously, I'm kidding there.
It's funny, dude.
But 220.5. I mean, last time we went under that number. Indiana, 2.5-point favorites. What are we saying here? It's the official Anthony Schmanthony prediction here.
I mean, if we're going with the Knicks win, like you said, it's going to have to be defense on the floor, which again seems like the strategy they're going to be putting out there, which I love that. I mean, it is nice to see Tibbs kind of practice what he preaches sometimes, because after game one, after game two, adjustments, next game, one at a time. And that was clearly the mentality of this game. So, I think that's a big factor in this win, or in this outcome, I guess I should say, because I do think the Knicks have a good chance to win, plus 2.5, by the way, on the spread. But I think we do hammer the under. I think we do hammer the defense. I think we do hammer a Brunson, let's say 39 points on the game. I would say tight, maybe a pull-away spot in the fourth quarter. But give me the Knicks 110, Pacers 105. So let's go, dude. Let's go Knicks. Knicks in the under.
Yeah. I echo those sentiments. I'm going to say 109, 105.
There we go.
So Knicks in the under, and I think it's 40 for Brunson, stepping up big. And even though it's a win, Tibbs talking after the game, gotta do a better job. Come on. It's funny. I feel like he has to be like that. Like, he can't be, like, elated ever.
Mm-hmm.
Right or no?
I never really see the guy be elated.
No, that's what I'm saying. It has to be like that, but he's just going to this guy's played a great game, but job's not done.
Josh P says Discord as usual, by the way.
Yeah. The timing has been bad with these games. Like, they've been on nights like when I've been at Sam's, so no time for the Discord. And then it's like, I could pop on the Discord on the way home, but then I wouldn't be able to have the game on. So it's just like, next time.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Next time, dude.
Thursday at the Garden. I'll be there for that one. Not there, actually. But how about tickets only $114 in Indiana? Probably with the fees, whatever. So it's going to be under $200.
Are you kidding me, dude?
And I bet if I look at this right now, $486 at the Garden plus the fee. So it's probably a $600 ticket. Yeah. There'd be juice for Indiana to go back to the NBA Finals,
What the hell is that about, dude?
Just, I guess markets,
I guess maybe the field house doesn't draw as much of a crowd here.
Yeah. And so hopefully the Knicks even up this series. I think that'd be great for the Garden, great for the city. Speaking of cities, Oklahoma City, 128, 126. You're hanging on here to go up 3-1 against Timberwolves. These games have been all over the map, but Shai was one rebound shy of a triple-double, 49 and 10. I think the Thunder are ready to go to the NBA Finals. Even this is tight, and it's a shame, but doesn't feel like it's like just that dollar short for the Timberwolves this year. But wouldn't be surprised if next year's the year. I mean, they're right there.
Yeah. Mike said it best. Mike said it just doesn't seem like Edwards. It's necessarily his time yet. I'd say the talent isn't there. But OKC. You mentioned these games all over the place, tight or not. I mean, it's OKC finding themselves on the winning side,
right?
And that's what championships teams do. Like, it doesn't matter what the game is like; they just end up winning it. So, you mentioned Shai playing out of his mind. It's hard to beat, dude. They got a great team.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Williams, the guy that doesn't get talked about, he had 34 last night. You get 21 from Holmgren. I've always been high on him.
Shit.
So yeah. it's going to be interesting to see. And I hope it's Thunder Knicks. I think that'd be a great finals matchup.
Hell yeah,
honestly.
dude.
Another difficult matchup for the Knicks, but I guess that's kind of their thing. They'll take on whoever's coming their way.
The tight dog
If
here.
you think about it, because everyone said, Indiana, maybe not as good as Boston, but you look at, and then with Detroit, who wasn't a pushover. I mean, they've had some tough opponents here.
Yeah,
tough
dude.
matchups. And then if you have Oklahoma City in the final, you get there. I mean,
were they favored against Detroit?
Yeah, but it was like one of those things
Yeah.
where which I believe a 3 versus a 6, like it wasn't the usual line for that.
Right.
Oh, watch out, Detroit.
And I mean, not for nothing. I mean, they were still being faded. The Knicks, I feel like people
they
still
won
doubted
the
them.
2 games in Detroit by 3 points, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like insane. So so good sports night on the horizon. You know what I was just about? I don't think I asked you what you thought about the or did you say Dallas bounce back tonight? I don't for some reason I don't know why we didn't.
No. Honestly, dude, I don't think Dallas bounced back.
Edmonton's ready for the rematch.
I guess so, dude.
Close to D-Day for you. With Edmonton, McDavid, McDavid, Finals MVP, the parade in Edmonton. Everybody's chanting back to back. I mean, that's gonna be a tough day for you. What is it, Kansas City Chief like or no? It's not Chiefs on the couch?
No, it's not Chiefs on the couch, dude. I mean, it would be tough. I mean, I still do, even if Edmonton goes, I mean, I still would take Florida. I mean,
but I mean, you would say they're ready to go, ready for a rematch.
It seems like that right now. Dallas isn't ready, And again, I mean, they need a spark. They need a significant spark offensively. You can't be getting shut out at home. Okay,
Right.
like you can't be getting beat like this in back-to-back games. Not good, dude. So it just, it feels like that Edmonton has the momentum. And it's tough, dude. I mean, like I said, I don't see it coming from Dallas tonight, dude. They're still in Edmonton.
Yeah.
So
Rogers Place.
I'm sorry. I can't.
The cup might need to come back to its founding fathers,
Yeah.
Founding country, anyway. But yeah, so I think, that's where we're at. Like we said, a lot of good sports on the horizon, but another outstanding show today. Really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume merch, DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games. Let's go Yankees and Mets! And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.